A lot of people have a problem with exercise intolerance or increased heart rate intolerance when they are recovering from a concussion. I'm not going to get into the details of why this is, but there is a very simple way to solve it through increasing your exercise slowly at a targeted heart rate. So this methodology here in this PDF document that I'm showing is the basic methodology for how you return to exercise when recovering from a concussion to be able to get back to normal exercise levels. So what you're going to do is you're going to first find your symptomatic heart rate level at which your symptoms first start exhibiting on the +2 point scale. So if you don't know what the +2 point scale is, it's your baseline symptoms in the morning, +2 points. And a point is an increase in the symptom, a new symptom, or a change in the location of a symptom like headache. So once you get to +2 points, that is your symptomatic heart rate level. And you're going to do this exercise on a stationary bike or a treadmill that inclines. And the reason for that is you want to eliminate any of the vestibular problems that might come up and that might be exhibiting or causing the symptoms. And you want to just isolate specifically to symptoms related to cardio or heart rate. And you can't do that if you're running or walking. So it's got to be on a treadmill or on a stationary bike. And you're going to have your heart rate monitor. A wrist heart rate monitor will work fine for this as long as you're using it consistently throughout your exercise program. And once you get to, and you're going to start your program or your exercise regime by getting your heart rate up. And then once you get to 2 points, 2 or 3 points on the exercise in terms of your symptoms, that is going to be your symptomatic heart rate level. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take that heart rate, multiply it by 80%. So for instance, if you started seeing +2 points on the symptom scale at 120 beats per minute, you're going to multiply that by 80%. You're going to get 96 beats per minute. And this is where you're going to exercise at for the next 2 weeks. So for the next 2 weeks, at least 3 times per week for 30 minutes minimum, you're going to target that heart rate for 2 weeks. And then at the end of that 2 weeks, we'll move on to step 3, where you retest your symptomatic heart rate level, and it should have gone up. So you're going to retest again on the stationary bike or the treadmill, and it should have gone up. And say, for instance, now you can get up to 130 beats per minute before you exhibit more than 2 points on the symptom scale. And then you're going to multiply that by 80%, and then you're going to exercise at 80% of that 130 beats per minute for the next 2 weeks, 3 times per week for 30 minutes minimum. So the duration should be roughly 30 minutes. You need to be getting exercise, even if it means that you're walking or walking on a treadmill in a gym. And the reason for that is that exercise is medicine when it comes to concussion recovery. It reduces your stress, it gives you the endorphins that you need, and it creates, most importantly, it creates blood flow to your brain, which is going to help your brain recover from this injury more quickly. It's going to decrease your stress and increase your sleep quality as well. And it also will get, if you're doing walking, not necessarily cycling, but it'll get your spine moving. And a lot of the cerebral spinal fluid that gets into your brain actually comes from spine, mostly spine movement. So that's important to do walking as well. And you can see down here, eventually, you will be able to increase that heart rate and get your symptom levels back up. If you are frustrated that you're stuck on the stationary bike, because you exhibit symptoms, much higher level of symptoms when you try to run or play any sort of safe sport that you can do, you're going to want to reach out to a physiotherapist and get a physiotherapist on board that does concussion recovery, or vestibular therapist for concussion recovery. And what they will do is they will check your balance systems to make sure that they are operating properly, which most of the time they aren't for concussion recovery, and they will give you a number of exercises that you'll need to do to basically recalibrate your balance system and your vestibular system, which is a whole other episode lecture series here. So yeah, if you follow that, it should work, and keep up with it. And if you're finding that it's not challenging enough, when you retest, you should be able to see that. Or if it's too challenging, you want to make sure that you're staying within that heart rate zone, and your tolerance will increase over time.